let me come to Sule and Dr. Yankson. And Sule, I'll begin on this note. Your namesake, Sulemana Isifu, says, if we need to militarize our elections this way in order to make them peaceful, then we are nowhere being a democratic country. To be brutally honest, we are only basking in ancient platitudes with no real evidence to show for our progress. This is evident when one compares Ghana with its peers like Singapore and Malaysia. We have electoralized our democracy, meaning we have reduced democracy to just elections. And even with that, we need massive security to make them a success. For starters, by-elections are too costly and must be cancelled. Parties should be allowed to fill in candidates. But the first part of it, that we need as many as 5,500 police officers for this by-election. What does it make you feel as a Ghanaian?
Well, I think that for me, first of all, it's an indication of the deterioration of our democratic standards. And going forward, the prospects of viability of our democracy going forward. I think we've always made the point that, at least for once, under the Fourth Republican Constitution, we have had stability for the last more than 3 decades, and we would want to see our democracy growing. But unfortunately, it appears to me that, to many Ghanaians, of course, that we are retrogressing rather than progressing. I think it is rather really shocking. We are going into a by-election of 119 polling stations with 52,328 persons, one constituency. And our parties have succeeded in reducing...
In a by-election, you may not get 50%.
Yes.
Very likely.
Yes. Our two main parties have succeeded in reducing this to be seen as if we are going for a battle, and it's about who is going to win the battle. I think the mistrust is just too much, and I don't know what the source is. I believe that Honorable Tampoli and my friend Rashid here perhaps know, but someone like me not being in politics is difficult for me to understand. Because if for nothing at all, I think somebody here made a point, and I think it was Rashid, that in terms of the police being the lead security agency when it comes to elections management, we have a situation where ahead of the 2024 elections, the government then appointed the current IGP, then COP Yohonu, as Deputy Inspector General of Police. That did not raise questions for many.
In charge of
what
operations.
Did was the designation that they gave him in charge of operations. And people were like, this is the first time that we are hearing of a Deputy IGP being appointed and being designated for a specific role.
The intention was that he was to supplant Akufo Dampare, who was being fair.
Exactly.
And was not malleable.
Exactly. That I believe.
You have evidence for.
No. That I believe was a perception, and it was not only
the intention as we were told.
It was not only a perception.
Right.
In fact, it was one of the very critical issues that was raised in the ECOWAS election pre-election mission that visited Ghana. In their report, if you read it, they said there is so much concern about the appointment of a deputy IGP in charge of operations. And many people, many Ghanaians interpret that to mean the government wants to sort of override the functions of the IGP because they think he is too firm and all of that.
And that again was being attributed to the Asin by-election.
That was actually before.
Just camped out of.
That was actually before. Yes, before Asin North.
There was something.
Yes.
That
so
when
the international pre-election mission visited, the conclusion they had was that the IGP was very firm, was quite independent, and the ruling government was not happy with that. That is the conclusion they drew. Whether that was true or not, no one knows. You remember somebody even went to court about the designation of, IGP Yohonu, then Deputy IG Yohonu, and whether legally he could have been designated as Deputy IG in charge of operations. And others even raised the questions, are we going to now have Deputy IG operations, Deputy IG administration, Deputy IG this, and so on and so forth. So if he was trusted that much and could be assigned that role about 6 months into elections, and today that person is at the helm of affairs, why should there be some mistrust about what he promises that we are going to deliver the election under a peaceful atmosphere? I think it is about the politicians and perhaps what their real intentions are that maybe we have to explore to know. Otherwise, I believe that if the MPP had won the elections, and even if Dampare was still the IGP, I'm sure a lot of the things that Honorable Tampoli is saying here would have been said by my colleague here, Mr. Rashid.
He's been saying that already.
Because it's like when you are in opposition, you don't trust any state institution. It is the same police administration.
How would you like the media, because you're a media trainer in the country and beyond the country, how would you like the media to report such press conferences where a party, comes out to say, we know of ABC, and they won't give any evidence to it? They won't show you any small thing that points to giving credence to what they are trying to say. And they will say, when they were asked, when Ahiagba was asked, he said, oh, you want me to disclose that to you? We're holding it to our chest. How do you want the media to cover such? Because as the both of them agree, this kind of rhetoric heightens tensions unnecessarily.
No, I think that's also part of the problem we have, where the media seem to be prepared to basically serve as megaphones for whatever statements that are made by politicians. Whatever is said, let's blow it. Whatever is said, let's put it out there. I think elsewhere that is not what is done. You will regret for making baseless statements, for making statements without evidence, because you'll be confronted and you'll be exposed. But here, maybe we are in a rush to put out whatever is being said there. And I think going forward, we need to encourage our colleagues to always demand the evidence. Why do you say it? What is the basis? And before they go for such press conferences, especially if they know the issues, they should have read about it.
For example, the man told them, we have it, but we'll keep it to our chest. We won't give it to you. What is the journalist supposed to do in that circumstance?
But why do you then organize a press conference? You are organizing a press conference to tell us what? If you have information that you don't want to disclose to us, you are only inviting us to speculate to us, for us to carry your speculation.
So they shouldn't publish the speculation?
I don't think so. Unless you have the evidence, unless you have concrete something to say. You don't invite me and tell me I have the evidence, I won't give it to you, but go and publish my speculation. How do you expect the media to do that?
Hold on there. Dr. Jansen, and Smart Sapon is also on. We'll get to him.